I'm light, I'm love, I'm wisdom. I'm light, I'm love, I'm wisdom. Welcome to Avenues of Wisdom. My name's Kim. Join in. I'm going to be talking about how to achieve a spiritual balance, living in this world, my experiences, what I've experienced this past week. Stay tuned. Don't forget to like, subscribe, or comment if anything I say resonates with you, because we're all on the spiritual journey. Believe it or not, it's true. Do you feel some sort of imbalance? Do you feel like you gotta even things out? Is there something missing? Is there something in you, that a void you're trying to fill? If any of that resonates with you, you need to learn how to achieve a spiritual balance. And this is what I've experienced and what I'm still learning each day right now. If you haven't been here before, I'm Kim. I'm an occupational therapy student in a graduate program. I'm up in Duluth, Minnesota, and I'm in my first level 2 fieldwork, and I'm having to achieve a spiritual balance, being a student in her rotation every day, going to see patients and healing each other, being a space of light, being a space of love, but also learning new skills, taking in information, having a very logical way of presenting yourself. But then I come home and I run into, how am I going to fill my cup up, and my cup wasn't filled earlier that day. How am I going to fill my cup up with my spirit? What is my spirit trying to tell me? Do you need to go out, get some fresh air? Do you need to write? Do you need to play my guitar? Do I need to sing? Do I need to dance? Do I need to connect with people? What is it you have to do to help achieve that balance? Because you go out to the world and, we are a mind, we are a body, and we are a spirit. We are all of these different components that make us up, and when we're imbalanced, there can be dysfunction, depression, anxiety, stress, physical illnesses, disease. All of these things can manifest when you're not balancing your mind, your body, your spirit. As far as achieving a spiritual balance, I'll tell you a story. So last week I come home, and I think we were on week 7 of fieldwork out of 12. Week 7 of fieldwork. I come home, I'm zapped. I'm gonna be honest, I'm zapped. It was a long day. I just go sit on the toilet. I'm not going to the bathroom, but I just go sit on the toilet in my bathroom. My bathroom's warmer sometimes. I just kind of sit in there and think. And I feel I become aware of my body language. It just slumps. And I'm like, whoa, I'm zapped. I need to go fill my cup up. I need to do something, because I could have just sat there with my, slouched. Being aware of my body language slouched, that makes me have to be aware and tune in. I need to let go of some things. I was feeling heavy. And it might have been from work, you're with people with sickness, disease, they're trying to heal. They have a lot of physical illnesses. You're helping, encouraging them to heal with therapy, and you take on a lot. When you come home, you have to let that go. I usually just jump in the shower and I intentionally cleanse myself, but as this builds on, as I complete my field work, I have to be more aware of how I need to take off you got all these coat layers, I say, these coat layers of, this coat to wear as I go to field work, this coat to wear as I go to class, this coat that I wear when I interact with this person. We got all these coats that we wear that maybe we're not even aware of. And you got to take off all those coats because they're heavy and they're not even of you. They're just of something that you perceived from your outer world, that you put on that heaviness, and it's not a part of you. You got to take that off. I said, I got to go out to nature. I got to go outside. So I got up, went outside to the trail. Something was like, go outside. Go outside. Your intuition is something is telling you, go listen. And it comes like that. It comes very faintly, very quick, and it'll resonate with you. And you got to listen to it, and you have to instinctively follow it as soon as it comes to you, because it's kind of like a message. So I go outside. I listen to the message. I go by this tree, the tree and the trail. This trail right by my apartment. It's been in a bunch of my videos. This big tree that I resonate with. It's in my Seasons Change video. Checked it out. My poem that I wrote about how you change and evolve. I sat by this tree, sat down, and I was like, I kind of put my hand over my heart and I said, okay, I intend to let go of things. And I put out an intention to speak to that life force, God, your greatest self. Honestly, I called out to my angels and I said, hey, I gotta let some things go. And this is like kind of how aware I am about my mind, my body, my spirit. I'm always kind of communicating. And my way of doing that is I just go outside, go to the forest, I get fresh air, because you're not in a confined space. You're in a space of openness. Nature doesn't have any judgment. Nature doesn't have any, criticism. It doesn't have any opinions. You can just go out there and I can fully be. I can fully be where I can just talk. And as I was talking just about how I was feeling, what I wanted to let go of, how the day went, what was just going on. I was feeling like a heaviness from the day. All of everything I spoke, I started to feel myself becoming lighter. I was becoming more in touch with me, who I am, becoming more in touch with my spirit. Literally called out to my angels. I said, hey, I'm light, I'm love, I'm power, I'm confidence, I'm intelligence, I'm all of these things. And I said, just, an answer of clarity. Because when I become heavy and not fulfilled, I start to feel like I'm not on my path. And there's this I'm doing this because it's like a resistance. It's like a uncomfortableness. And if you've ever felt that, let me know, because it's just kind of like, this is not right. That's why I had to go and let this stuff go. I go out and I'm talking to myself. All of a sudden, I get up and I'm kind of looking in the forest. No one's around. It's like twilight. It's getting dark out, but it's still light. The sky's clear. And I notice that I start getting emotional. I start getting real emotional about how grateful I am for my life, how everything I've been through this past year, 2 years I've been in graduate school, how much I've grown, how grateful I am to have all of my family, my brothers, my sisters, my parents, everyone around me, the opportunities I have. I became emotional about my mother on all aspects of my mom, and that she's in me, and that I have her beauty and everything and her strength within me. I became all emotional, alone in the woods, right? And I became aware because I was like, I need to feel these emotions. These emotions were weighing me down. I was having to address them. And crying is a form of release. People, it's okay to cry. It's okay to form that release, to let that weight off of you. You don't have to hold all that down within you. And as I'm in this moment of gratitude, I look up and a big owl. An owl. How often do we see owls? An owl swoops in the tree right in front of me, in front of my vision. Maybe 10, 15 feet. It's sitting up in the tree, and then it turns and it looks at me. And I was crying, I was all emotional. And that owl swooped in. I'd realized I chose this life, all these obstacles, my family, this life. I chose this life to go through all these things, to experience all the beauty, all the gratitude, the gratefulness for the good and the bad. And this owl's still looking at me, and I'm like, okay, I did call out to my angels. Okay, I asked. I was open to receiving. I was open to receiving, communicating. I asked. Out in the forest, all alone. It was just an intention I set, and I spoke it. Owl comes through. And the owl eventually swoops and leaves. And at this point, time isn't really a thing. I don't know what time it was. I know I went outside to go get some fresh air, and I'm not aware. Maybe I'm thinking I'm gone for 15, 30 minutes. After the owl leaves, I have this overwhelming peace within me. I feel lighter. I feel like, wow, that was a sign. I'm on my path. I'm on my path, and if I want to achieve that spiritual balance, I have to be aware of my spirit. Aware when I feel heavy, aware when I need to go release something, aware when I need to be aware when I got to put my space or myself back in my heart space. Every day, being a student, being in that logical mind, you're learning a bunch of things. You're in your mind, and it's sometimes we all forget to be in the space of our heart, the space of our feeling, the space of connection. And that's what I have to have, is that balance, that mind, body, spirit balance, to be able to be grateful for my life, to be centered, to be in just a full state of gratitude, where I was standing in the forest and my day is totally changed, right? I'm heavy, I go outside, and then I'm in a space of gratefulness. And through that, I learned that how important it is to have a spiritual balance in your life, so that you can stay in that place of light, so that you can keep going and have that vision and that clarity. And I wanted to share that experience with you, because as I walk and leave the trail, I was like, wait, where am I? And I usually come on this trail, and all of a sudden I was like, oh wait, this is where I go. And I'd walk back, and I was like, oh wow, I was gone 2 hours out there having that experience. I was in such a place of presence that time left. It wasn't a construct, it wasn't a confinement. It was just a place of being, and I was experiencing my true feeling to release all that I had for my heaviness. And I recommend, if you're aware that you're heavy, you're doing this, as soon as you get that feeling of, oh, okay, I need to take care of this. You don't just kind of get that message and then we kind of ignore it, right? We just like let that go. We gotta feel it and act on it, because if I would have never went outside, I would have never seen a beautiful owl, a big owl swoop down, and no one else was there for that experience. It was like, oh, I had that clarity. That was just for me, because I asked for that, because I went out to seek that. You seek and you find, and you realize the kingdom of heaven is within you, that you are the light and the love and the peace. And I had to share that experience with you because it literally resonated so much with me. I got home and I started writing. I couldn't put down my pen. I wrote like 8-9 pages I didn't want that to fade, the true realization I had. I didn't want that to fade at all. I wanted to keep it in me, and I said, I have to write this down. So if you've ever felt anything like that, if you've had experiences that you can't explain before, or that you can't really piece together because it's not of this world, it's expansive, it means something. You know, we always kind of think inside a box, and that's not what our spirit doesn't reside inside of a box. Our spirit is expansive, it's infinite, it's all of these things. Light has no boundaries. And if you've ever experienced something like that, you know what I'm talking about. And this is for all the people, for me to connect with you. So I just wanted to share that experience with you because it meant so much to me. And leave a comment if that resonates with you, because I wish you full of light, love, spiritual balance between your mind and your body. And enjoy your Sunday. And I'll see you next week. Don't forget to subscribe. Thank you.